G'day everyone, I'm Smokescreen and welcome back to another video. We're back with another week, another video, another couple of videos actually, but I'm not quite sure how you'll feel about all this, but we're going to start the week off in less than ideal way, and you'll see what I mean by that as the video today progresses. So we are going straight into a race. So this was an interesting combination actually. It was one of the new tracks, Sardegna Road Track. It's the C variation, so it's the shortest, and it's a daily race B, in Group 3. So, to be honest, the track, 2.6 kilometers, it's a little bit short for Group 3 cars, but that means, well, that lends itself to extremely close qualifying, which is exactly what we saw before. So I put in my lap a 53 minutes dead, not 53 minutes, 53 seconds dead, so 0 minutes, 53 seconds, .000. You can rewind and have a look at the grid for that. But because the sort of grid is so competitive, it puts me 15th, so it's a genuine 15th, as in I tried my best, got a lap, and it turned out to be 15th in BS lobbies, which is, well, frankly, like, starting 15th is really putting the BS in the BS lobby. Anyway, but we continue on. So I've gone for the Nissan GTR. I've driven this, or used the car a couple of times before. I've got the same livery from the Monza video. That'll be linked up in the card if you want to have a look at that. But yeah, I haven't chosen another livery for the car. I probably should. It's probably time to, because I've been driving the hardcore livery for a little while now. But as we come out of the final turn, you can just see me awkwardly go into the back of that Lexus there, or the Subaru, sorry. Awkwardly go into the back of the Subaru, who's just coming out of a ghost recovering from his spin, and that really puts me off the guy that is currently in 12th, Wayne Jones, puts me off him a little bit. We get up a lot of ground into the braking zone for turn 1, and it still doesn't translate to an overtake. So this Subaru guy, well actually it looks like we might be able to go to a move through turn 4. We'll see how we go. Late on the brakes, up the inside, and we managed to make it stick, and we managed to get the exit correct. So that is a gain in position up to 13th place. A little bit wide through turn 5, but hopefully it doesn't lead to an overtake. You can see down in the radar, Subaru just looks up the inside for turn 8. We brake up towards turn 9. Someone sends it up the outside. Subaru's up the inside. We're going to be able to get on the power cleanly. Yes, we are. We managed to keep position. Subaru just loses it on the exit a bit. It looked like that I helped him there, but no, it was a genuine mistake by the Subaru driver there. But it's not to worry, because we are in 13th position. We just flash ahead to lap 5. This is turn 1. We'll see what happens on the exit. Here through turn 2, we have a ghosted Nissan up ahead, a green Nissan Frog, if you will, and we have someone serving a penalty who is currently in 12th place, and the game just ghosts him out again for me. Very nice of the game to do that. We managed to make our way up to 12th. So we seem to be progressing well in the race here, despite starting low on the grid. It's always good, but I want to pass the Frog Nissan up ahead. Let's see if we can do it. So he's the green Frog, I'm the black Toad. Can the Toads sort of overcome the Frogs? I certainly hope so, but Butchie Not may not allow my dreams to occur. Subaru's still lurking in the background there, but we are halfway down the straight now. We're going to head up to the braking zone for turn 1. We're going to brake just before the 100 metre board, use the curb. We're a little bit deep actually, we just go a little bit wide across the apex, and that Frogness and just gains out a little bit of time on me there, but it's not to worry, just a little bit of lag there, but we'll see if we can get through turn 4 without any mistakes. So turn 4 is a bit of a hot spot of this track. You can see how easy it is to go wide as I just dip a couple of wheels over the right hand side of the track, but we go down this furious downhill section. You've got to get your line dead right for it to be flat out, which it's quite easy to do because it's narrow, there's not much variation to the line, but you just see it gets a little bit messy at the top hairpin there. Just bump the Nissan out a little bit as he bumps the red Nissan up ahead. So we've got the Nissan trifecta here, if you will, but almost the colour of traffic lights. If only I was yellow and could overtake this Frog guy. But we'll see what happens into turn 1. On the brakes nicely, none of us really go for a move. I just lift off the brakes slightly, probably braking a little bit too early, but we managed to get through turn 1 nicely and through turn 2 and turn 3 now. Just leap over that curb. You can just see how unsettled the car gets by putting a couple of wheels over the other side of that curb and coming through turn 4 on the power. We almost touched the grass. That could have been a disaster. It could have spun out and hit the left-hand wall, but we go down the downhill section once again. So we've been following this Nissan for pretty much the entire race with these yellow flag out. So we'll see what happens as we go through turn 8 into turn 9. I think the guy in 9th place just had a spin as the green Nissan tries to go up for a move on the red Nissan, but it's not quite going to eventuate, just him having a little bit of trouble trying to control the oversteer the Nissan gets thanks to its turbo assistance. But we're now line astern down the straight. Once again, hopefully we can manage to keep at 12th place, which of course is a gain from where I started in 15th, so I'll take it through turn 1. Just a little bit argy-bargy going on with the two Nissans up ahead. The red one just turned across the green one a little bit, but the green one probably wasn't quite alongside enough. But let's see if we can get through turn 4 without any mistakes. Break the 50 metre board, try to go for the move, and it means we early apex. Way out on the grass, we're going to be able to accelerate out of it. No! The big, bulky rear fender of that Nissan was my Achilles heel that time, as it manages to just clip the wall on the exit of turn 4 and spins me around. And we're down in 15th. Oh my goodness. We managed to pick up half a second of penalties on the way from there to the line, but that was a race to forget. Just finishing in 15th there. We don't linger on the results for too long, as I want to forget it as quickly as possible. But we move on. So the top times for this combination were actually set in the Hurricane Group 3. So that's the car I've gone for now, the Lamborghini Hurricane. We'll see if we can actually get a better qualifying time, because it was clear my qualifying time of 53 seconds dead wasn't quite up to scratch. But you can see we get 2 tenths out through the first corner there, and of course that time gap down the bottom is referencing a 53.2 on the right hand side of the screen, highlighted in purple. The main place to gain time around this lap is turn 4, which was just before. You really got to slide the car through there and carry as much speed as possible and not lift through the downhill section, and then it's really easy to lose time at this top hairpin there. But you can just see how short the lap is in Group 3. So this is the final hairpin. Got to try and get on the accelerator nice and early. Of course, no turbo assistance in this car, so it's a little bit easier to get on the power compared to the Nissan before. But as we accelerate up to the line, it's a 52 seconds, 0.8, which is still not great. So what I mean by how close this grid really is the very top time. So like the fastest time in the world was like a 52.0 or something, a 52.2. So that's really how close we are. And of course a shorter track does lend itself to having quite close qualifying times, but you can just see how close you have to get to the top 10 to actually get a good grid slot in these races. But because of my poor result last time, I think DR and SR have gone down a little bit, so I'm in a lower grade lobby, and the new qualifying time puts me in 8th position with a Porsche up ahead. So Porsche is not quite a good car in a straight line. It's a very good all-rounder car, and it's nice and easy to control actually. So it's often a good car to choose if you're unfamiliar with the combination, but its main downfall is top speed. You can just see I overhauled him into turn 1 by virtue of that. But we'll see if we can get through the rest of this race without any silly mistakes before getting through turn 4 nicely actually. The other Hurricane up ahead has just got a little bit out of shape on the exit there, and I just had to lift going through turn 5, and because the Porsche was able to just squeeze through going full throttle, you can just see it lends to a loss in position. Peugeot looks around the outside, never going to work, goes into the back of the Porsche there and just punts him out of the way as I slide around the top hairpin. That's not good, and the other Lamborghini up ahead just gets a little bit out of shape on the exit there, but we managed to just slot in behind. So the best overtaking opportunity really on the lap is probably turn 1, slipstream down the straight, as I am demonstrating right here, and we brake. So I'm side by side, and because it's a little bit more than 90 degrees, it's a really good overtaking opportunity, but you've got to park your car on the apex, if I can speak correctly, otherwise the guy falling victim to your attack can perform a cutback on you and just go straight past before turn 2. But we just look behind, Porsche loses it into the gravel on the exit of turn 4, and that's where we get that's where we lose sight of the Porsche there. Someone else does a repeat move of what I did in the previous race at the same point of the lap. We managed to make up another position into 5th. So we go through turn 4 a little bit sideways through there. He said slideways, not quite correct there, but because of that, the other Lamborghini that we've been fighting with for pretty much the entire race actually manages to just squeeze through. Now, the main thing with me driving this combination actually was we almost fall victim to a move from the Nissan. Because the track is just so short, it's so tight, so busy for Group 3, it's actually a really smart combination, to be fair to Polyphony there, but I was really on edge for this entire race. I was on edge controlling the cars, and it was really difficult for me to race close around this track. And this is a cutback, so the guy in 5th HK just performed a textbook cutback, but going through turn 3 just gets a little bit awkward, and I completely spin him around, and that's a 3-second penalty, my friends. Which isn't good, to say the least, to go through turn 4. Now, of course, it wasn't early enough into the lap to serve it during the lap, so I actually finished the race with 3 seconds there. So another bad result there. Of course, I started in 8th. If you needed a memory refresh there, but I'm down in 11th. So I'm not having a good time on this combination, to be honest. Of course, this Sardegna track was supposed to be round 2 of Mini Madness. You can also see my round 1 performance. It'll be linked up in the card as a pure race, if you want to have a look at that. But I was unable to participate in round 2, unfortunately. There was unforeseen circumstances on race day and I was unable to make it to the Mini Madness event. But we move on. We get enough of the track in Daily Race B of this particular week anyway. Now, because of finishing the race with a penalty, that really kills your SR. Not quite as much as quitting, so we're going to try and avoid that at all costs. But I'm now in once again a lower grade lobby again, so my same qualifying time, 52.8, puts me 2nd in this particular lobby. And we have a Mercedes AMG GT3 up ahead of us this time, me box racing. So despite being a lower lobby, we're always going to go for a win, despite probably a win not being by virtue of skill as much as if I were in higher lobbies. But nevertheless, we're following the Mercedes. It gets a bit awkward through turn 4. I think I did bump him, yeah, 100% I bumped him going through there. You can just see how messy it gets. Porsche goes up the inside, just knocks him into the wall, and I get backed up. Guy in 4th comes in, everyone comes past. Oh my goodness, what a messy start. Oh, did you see that? Jesus, the Supra went off into the right-hand side, and we have a Golf-liveried Porsche. The Mercedes up ahead bins it onto the right-hand side of that hairpin, and we come out with 7 seconds of penalties. Oh my goodness. Oh man, I can tell you, I'm laughing at it now, but I was not feeling very happy when this was happening right before my eyes, as I was in control of the Lamborghini Hurricane here. Penalty gates is from the run between turn 3 and 4, so that's where we're both going to serve the penalty here, except I'm going to slow down for 7 seconds. The Renault in 1st is going to slow down for a 2nd, but you can just see how much time we lose here. 4, 3, 2, 1, 2 more penalties behind by virtue of that absolutely disastrous start, to be honest. We find ourselves down in 4th. Subaru bins it off on the track, so we managed to make up another position immediately, and we have a Toyota FT1 in front of us. So it's a good handling car, that one up ahead, but you can just see he just messes up the S's a bit. I do go into the back of him, and he ends up off the track, and oh yeah, 2 seconds of penalties. So I've had 9 seconds of penalties in this particular race. So it's not going well, it's really not going well at all. But hopefully we can just serve the penalty, get on with it. I don't know what door number my car is actually, to be honest, so we're just going to aim for the best position we can. But I can tell you when I was actually doing this combination, how close I was to quitting this race. So I did 7 seconds of penalties, accidental bump to the Toyota, and he ends up off the track, so I served 2 seconds here, and not quite as killing as 7 seconds, but you can see we're wide through turn 4, off the grass. Oh, we've done it again, and you can see immediately it ends. I end it. It's the end. Well, that was less than ideal, to be honest. But that is the frustration that this game can be. and you can see how damaging quitting a race is. Now I'm BB rated. Spent all that time at Alsace Village a few weeks ago, or a couple of months ago, getting that S rating, and you can just see how quickly it can turn against you. So it just comes to one bad combination. For some bloody reason I decided to continue with it, going with the Holden Mustang, which is a car I'm familiar with, as I almost punt the Porsche off the track. So it's not going well, really not going well, and I'm quite frustrated at myself for this particular turn of events. But let's see if we can get past the Porsche into turn 4, where not late on the brakes, you actually don't go for a lunge up there, which is a good idea. I don't want the Porsche out on the grass on the outside of the track. I don't want myself with 3-second penalty, just coming out of a, frankly, 10-minute penalty that previous race was, that I had to try and figure out. But let's see if we can get a better position this time. Going through the final hairpin, you can just see how much the sort of elevation changes through there and how bumpy it is, so that's why it's so hard and why it's so easy to lose time up there at turn 9. But we're going down the main straight now. But you can definitely see what I mean. It's not a track designed for GT3 racing, but you can just see how quickly we're gaining on this Porsche actually, so that's what I'm talking about. Porsche goes defensive, we're going to be able to go around the outside. We know we just go a little bit deep, but we managed to brake short of the gravel track, which is good. We just slot in 7/10 behind the Porsche, so that's still slipstream range, but probably there's no real slipstream opportunity. The only opportunity is the main straight, but probably just isn't quite long enough to actually just slipstream right past outright. You've always got to slipstream into a move at turn 1, and I just hit the wall going through turn 5 and just puts me off the group a little bit. But you can see we spent the race pretty much lapping in 3rd position after the opening little bit of argy-bargy with that Porsche, which is still around 2 seconds ahead of me. So we're pretty much evenly paced, I would say, me and this Porsche up ahead. But you can just see we actually managed to control this Ford throughout the race, and we managed to bring it home in 3rd. So I guess starting 3rd and finishing 3rd, not too bad. It's always a podium finish, always going to take what I can get, and considering that I had a couple of, frankly, my worst results, my worst showings in a race, I'll always take it. Nice and refreshing. But here we go. This is the last race of the video today, and hopefully, well, you can have a look where I am. Not that you know it's me yet, but there we go. We've managed to put it on pole this particular time round, and we've gone for the Beetle Group 3. So I've actually always wanted to drive this car, and I've found a nice Coca-Cola livery. I didn't quite know the back said, "Don't follow me, I do stupid stuff." Didn't know the back said that, but I've gone for it anyway, because of course when you're choosing your liveries in the livery sort of search, it only shows sort of a front angle view on the car, so you can see the front left hand side and the front bumper, the bonnet, sort of all of the right hand side of the car, but you can't see the back unless you actually go into it and view the livery. So I didn't know it said that on the back, but as far as Coca-Cola liveries go, it was a nice one, so I've put it on the Beetle and gone for it this time after putting it on pole. Now I will say, disclaimer right here, disclaimer, putting it on pole doesn't really mean much in this particular instance, as I've fallen down to BB, which means I'm up against lower rated players, so it's a slower lobby basically, which is why throughout the video I've been raising my grid position each time. It's because my ratings have been going down for this combination. But you can just see through lap 1, sorry, I've gone out a second ahead of the guy in 2nd, Kowe Kakasake. Oh my goodness, what a name. But yeah, so we've managed to get a little bit of a gap through lap 1 now, but you can see we crossed the line there with a 57.8, fastest lap on the opening lap, always good. But I've always wanted to drive the Beetle. Like I said before, I've really liked the way it sounds, the sort of raspy exhaust note that it leaves out. You can always hear that when you're driving right behind it. But you can see we translate a pole position into a victory. So I guess it's always good to finish the video on a high, with the final race being a good one. But it's bittersweet, really. I'm happy I got a victory. It always boosts your ratings, but of course getting victory by virtue of tanking ratings and going into a lower level lobby where it's easier to win is never a good idea. Or I guess it's a good idea, but it's not a good feeling. So despite my bad couple of results, a little bit of sugar, sweetener with the victory here, 2-star result. But overall, I was really displeased with my result here, or displeased with my performance here this particular time round. But we managed, I guess, to make it a good ending to the video. So of course, I've been saying it, gonna have a good ending, and the good part's done, which means the end comes next. As dark as that sounds, I tell you, I was pretty close to that when I quit that race in the Hurricane before, but anyway, we'll move on. But that's going to be the end of the video today, so I do thank you very much for getting this far into the video. It means a lot to know that people like to watch me all the way to the end. Do let me know you enjoyed by hitting that like button, and I do urge you to subscribe by pressing subscribe down below to get amazing videos like this in your subscription box every week. But that's going to be the end of the video today, and that means that's it from me. So once again, I do thank you very much for watching. See you later.